Well, Democrats are asking for votes to be held on two amendments to ban those on the government's terrorist watch list from obtaining gun licenses and whether to expand background checks to gun shows and internet sales. Joining me right now is an expert on these issues, California Senator Dianne Feinstein, the chief sponsor of a bill banning people on the terror watch list from buying guns. Senator, how do you reconcile keeping people from buying guns who are on the watch list with their due process rights?
Well, we provide due process rights. We provide an administrative appeal or a court appeal or both. So that can take place. I think the problem here is, and I think Director Brennan this morning addressed it when he said that his assessment is that we will see increasing attempts at attacks. Now, most of the people on these terrorist watch lists, the overwhelming number, are foreigners. So either ISIL selecting or they're self-selecting themselves with no record to come into this country to buy a weapon and to engage in a terror attack. So now I can't say that's for sure for everybody, but it sure is for some. So what we want is that those on the terrorist watch list have an opportunity to, when they get the background check, the Justice Department can review it, and if they have considered the evidence in totality and feel that the individual is a threat to our nation's security, they can deny the purchase of a weapon. Now, realistically, this is a small step. People who are felons, are fugitives, are addicts, who are misdemeanor domestic violence convictions. There are 10 categories for which you can deny a weapon, and no one is saying anything about those. But a terrorist is not included in those 10 categories, and that's the problem. It should be, and that's what we're trying to do.
Well, let's talk about this. Suppose a suspect, someone on the watch list, goes into a gun store and tries to buy a semi-automatic rifle, an assault weapon. What would, just run through what would happen? They're on the list. They're still on the list. What would happen?
Oh, I don't know what list you're talking to.
No, the watch list. The watch list.
Okay, they're on the watch list, and they go in to buy a gun, and they have to do a background check. Well, what we provide for is within the appropriations a program to be set up whereby by computer the database can be checked on that individual and what they know. And if there are suspicions, the ping goes to the Justice Department. The Justice Department can evaluate it, and if they see fit, they can stop the sale. Right now, Justice has no authority to stop the sale in this category. But in all other categories, it does.
How long can they stop it?
Well, they can just stop it. That individual will not be able to buy a weapon in this country, period.
And how about the Republican option? Do they have something like this that's more restrictive on terms of the administration's ability to do something like this?
Yeah, as I understand the Cornyn bill, it's a 72-hour provision, and you have to have probable cause. Probable cause is the standard under which an arrest can be made, under which you can go in and search an individual. So this will reduce the numbers to very small and likely not be very efficient in really sensing out these people, because these are people that you don't have that standard of information because you just don't know. But sure, what you do have, we point out what has to be there in the bill, so the Justice Department can make the finding and stop the sale.
That would seem to be idiotic, because it would say you'd have to go out and buy the gun first, then you'd be put on a probable cause list, and then you've already had the gun. Anyway, let me ask you about Senator McCain's comment today that President Obama is directly responsible, not personally, but directly, and then he said his actions are responsible by withdrawing troops from Iraq for ISIS and for what happened this past weekend.
Well, that's not the John McCain that I know, and I'm really sorry that he said that. I think what we need is more light and less heat on this subject, and I don't think that's particularly helpful. I work with John. I have a great appreciation for him, but I think he's wrong.
Great. And I hope you run for re-election, Senator. That's my view. I hope you run again. One more term from Feinstein. Anyway, thank you very much, Senator Feinstein from California.